Welcome back to the Scuffed cast. I am your host, Nita, with the co-host Tryhouse here.
Sir, dudes.
We got we got Beads with us as well.
What's happening?
And we have a very mysterious Randy today.
Hey.
It looks like that Kermit.
He's in mystery mode.
The dark Kermit.
Listen. Do it.
For you guys that are listening on Spotify and other platforms, Randy's just got a gigantic
he's
hood.
in evil Kermit mode right now.
He's full
I got
evil
my
Kermit.
Sith Lord look going on.
All right, well, today we have a lot in store for you, friends. We're going to be talking about the RLCS results that happened in the last major, what we think is going to happen at LAN, and I think everybody here is going to be at LAN, so it's really exciting. We get to kind of see what we think is going to happen. After that, we're going to talk about Batman coming back to Rocket League and a little something cool that Rocket League is doing to announce that collab. Speaking of collabs, 7-Eleven is doing a partnership with Rocket League, and we're seeing more Rocket League merch, and we'll talk about a little bit about that and the history of Rocket League merch and why there isn't any merch. And then at the end, we really liked talking about directional aerial and aerial stuff last time, so we're going to be talking about offense and defense and what we think makes a better team at the end, have a little Rocket League debate again. But first off, let's talk about RLCS and what happened and what almost made us not make the major.
I wasn't nervous in the slightest. I knew the entire time the boys were going to make it to LAN, and I wasn't going to cry myself to sleep. I knew.
You were like that one meme of Charlie from Always Sunny where he's like looking at the charts and pointing everything.
Yeah,
like,
I had the strings all over the room trying to figure out what needed to go wrong in order for them to
really
not make
quiet between games, and I was like, "What is he doing?" He's like, "I'm doing math, Randy. Just hold on."
Oh, that's right.
I'm doing math over here. I'm like, "You got
busting out the
this. I believe in
calculator.
you."
Yeah. Okay. So for you guys that didn't follow this last regional event, Space Station played pretty well day one. Actually, they pretty much dominated Torrent and Xset. But then when they played Complexity, they lost. And so because this format is shite, because they lost, they basically had to compete against all the other people that were also shite in the first round of the playoffs, and we had to play Oxygen very first round, who is one of the teams that could take our spot away from this major, and we lost to them. And so despite having a relatively good day, and even I think, Randy, didn't we go to, it was like game 5 overtime against Oxygen,
I think so.
we came out the losing side of that. And so everybody here in the Space Station was nervous that that it was oh my gosh, I was about to die. So many things.
Hey, Tryhouse.
Yeah.
Before we get too into this, you're on the wrong topic.
I'm on the wrong why does this always happen to me? Okay, we're on RLCS updates. Sorry.
I don't want to confuse
I forgot
people.
to retweet our cast, so I'm gonna do that now.
Okay, will you do that? Guys,
We're
this
the Scuffed cast, guys. We're the
what did
Scuffed
you
cast.
expect?
You should be used to this now.
It's true,
Yeah.
true. I just wanted to remind him, but no, it was I actually stopped watching. I was like, I feel like I'm a bad luck charm. I'm gonna stop watching, and you know what? It ended up working out. So
because Complexity was winning that series versus Verge. There were so many things that needed to go wrong for Space Station in order to not make it the major, and every time there was a glimpse of I'll be like, okay, we're about to be secure. We're about to have Complexity was mollywhopping version 1.
Mollywhopping.
In the first round of the winners bracket. And if version 1 lost that first round in the winners bracket, they would have had to play Oxygen later in the playoffs, and it would have guaranteed us a spot because only version 1 or Oxygen were threatening to take away our spots. And it was just like every time I tuned into the broadcast, something was going wrong for Space Station. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I stopped my watch party at one point because I got so nervous.
I low-key wasn't that nervous for some reason. I don't know if it was just I knew that it was kind of unrealistic that both Oxygen and V1 were both gonna pop off. Obviously V1 went all the way through winners bracket, so that actually was probably the most scary thing. But for V1 to have won, which they did, or they needed to win.
That was the scariest thing.
Oxygen needed to then make it at least top 3 for us not to go. But luckily for us, we had FaZe and NRG and all these good teams in lower bracket that were like, it was like Oxygen had to do like go through some like 12 Titans or something to get to the final. So
Yeah,
I thought that was more likely, though. I thought it was more likely Oxygen was going to get a top 3 finish than it was version 1 was going to win the event.
that's what I'm saying. Who was gonna even predict version 1 winning?
Pre-event, I'd have said the same thing, but I don't know what happens with NRG in groups. It was a tough group, but when they lose like first round against randoms, and then you're like
literal randoms. Oh, we haven't got to talk about that on the cast. We
the
memed them the last Scuffed cast,
Dude.
and we were like, this team made it to the main event, and they don't even have a profile picture. And we were joking about them last cast.
And they've got the group of death as well.
And they had the group of death. We said they were going to be just smacked around.
I knew they were good. I knew they were good. Like, yes, we can joke about them because of their name, but like, the players on that
they
roster
were going to
are
make day
actually
2.
insane. Me?
Yeah. You thought they were going to make day 2. No, I'm asking.
No. Oh, no, yeah.
No, I don't think even
I didn't have like super high
expectations,
but I knew they had like potential. Like they had serious Dark Horse energy just based off of their mechanical skill from each player. Each of those players are super duper good and really young, good talent. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see them again?
I'm not too surprised.
Any team that makes a regional is there to compete. It's not like it used to be where like you'd somehow have like a pop off couple of weeks and then you'd be in the promotion tournament to get into RLCS from RLRS. Like every team now that's gone through open quals, because that's 3 days of qualifiers plus like a top 16 closed qual Swiss bracket, which is like obviously extremely intense. Like you only have to look through the last 3 regionals in NA to see some of the teams that haven't made it through open quals. So everyone's there to compete, but when you're seeing potentially the toughest group we've ever seen in especially in North America, I think EU's pretty, like every group just looks scary in EU, but when you've got like arguably 3 of like the top 8 teams and you've made it through open quals, you're looking at that group and you're like, ah, man, like obviously we're here, but
yeah, it's like, it was a good run.
Yeah, actually, and then you just go and beat NRG, but NRG always has a slow start for some reason.
This format kind of suits itself to underdogs because all they had to do was not be the worst team of the day.
Yeah,
and they made it to day 2.
Unless you get an unlucky group and then it forces a tiebreaker. But if you get 1 win and somebody in your group goes 0-3, then you're good. So it's a very harsh sort of setup for it, but I mean the best teams are always going to be there at the end of the day.
So I guess we're gonna see more of randoms. You know, I was so upsetting because we played so well, and I think we had a 1 game differential. Complexity played out of their minds. Actually, they swept both Torrent and Xset.
Oh, that was fall Complexity. They came back.
Yeah, Complexity chose this event to show up.
They woke up and chose violence.
They did, and yeah, I was like, great. They're doing this on the day that SSG needs to clinch this. But also, because Complexity isn't going to the major, we have officially leapfrogged them in the global rankings for qualifying for Worlds. Right now, I posted it in our little like Scuffed cast thing, but we got we are currently 40 points above Complexity and the number 4 spot. Now the issue is we are like 670 points behind 3rd place.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
That
And
is
G2 are looking good as well. So,
And-
so for the people that can't see, G2 are in third, who were 600 points behind. So actually, it's like 600, nearly 700 points.
nearly 700 points behind them. And on top of that, I just said this, but Complexity is only 40 points behind us. Version 1, after winning the event and qualifying for the majors, they just leapfrogged in rankings by a ton. Like, if you look at us before the they won this event, they were like, I mean, they were hundreds and hundreds of points behind us, and now they're only like 70 something. And Envy not too far behind us either. There are three teams that are right behind us fighting for that number 4 spot, and then it's just like the top 3. Like NRG is more than 1,000 points ahead of us right now. They are really far in the lead, and so now, so only the top 3 teams from North America get to go to the because there's like a wild card event that
guarantee Worlds, yeah.
Oh, so the top 3 are guaranteed going to Worlds.
I think it's top 3 guarantee their spot.
And then
at Worlds.
Is it top 6 go to like the wild card event?
I think it's top 5. So there's 2 more teams go to the wild card. Because there's 24 teams. Because the way that Worlds works, it's a 2-week event. And the first week is the wild card week. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe this is the way that it's formatted. Is the first week's the wild card week, which is 12 teams playoff. And I think the actual Worlds week is then only the top 12 teams. No, wait. There's 8 teams automatic. Oh, wait, no. now I'm
Hold
confusing
on.
myself.
I'm looking this up right now.
8 teams guarantee it. And then I think there's 4 wild card spots.
Well, Feats, it's 16 team Swiss format, best of 5.
At Worlds?
Wait. Guys, I promise we do this for a living. We really do. Hold on.
I've just confused myself, but I'm
You've
sure
confused me. No, yeah, it is a 16-team Swiss format for the wild card, and the winners. Wait.
Yeah. So it's top 8 are guaranteed, and then there's 16 teams play in the wild card.
Yeah.
For the other 4 spots.
That's sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's going on?
I know
Guys.
I don't think we've got this written down on our little Scuffed sheet that we follow for the.
They need to have a
podcast,
cheat sheet here that makes this so much easier to understand. But basically, how many? I just need to know how many teams from North America get to even get a chance at Worlds. That's what I need to know, because
I think it's top 5 still. So I think top 3 guarantee, or top 2 guarantee, and then there's 5 spots. All in all, out of the 24 teams, there's 5 EU, 5 NA, I believe. Like there is for every major. But obviously the wild card it's going to be tough, because everyone's like, right, like there's only 4 spots. Only a quarter of us are making it to the actual championships. Which, if you hadn't heard, Sandrock have already
qualified.
They've got their wild card spot booked in already. It's a shame, really, because they're like a lower mid region. That they don't just automatically qualify, but maybe in future seasons, it'll be a little bit as the smaller regions build up. Maybe they will just have auto qualifying spots. But yeah,
oh my gosh,
there's 8 guaranteed spots and 4 more wildcard spots, I believe.
So we are
for the
never
confusion.
going to be in a comfortable spot, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Because
you don't know though.
Unless we start winning majors like after this one. If we just like spring or regional, sorry, if all the regionals we just win in spring. But that's
it depends how much like Rettles and Arsenal step up, really, because I feel like this loss this past weekend, that's as nerve-wracking as it was, and as close as it actually was, because I think we only finished 60 points above Oxygen. This split, I think it's kind of what Daniel needed, because he can't just like have good tournament after good tournament and then like nothing's setting him up to experience that failure. Whereas now that it's just happened and and he has experienced it, I think at such a young age, he now knows he'll know how to deal with it in even higher pressure
majors.
I feel like.
Because we need to show up at majors in order to catch up on points. Like that's the G2 and FaZe need to have a major blunder at majors, and we need to show up if we're going to catch up. A major blunder. So yeah, it's I don't know. I'm excited. It'll be great. What else do we have to talk about? Global rankings, winter rankings. I don't know.
Stuff.
It's stressing you out too much.
It is. It gets me nervous because SSG every time.
I'll tell you what we could talk about. Our potential group stage at the major.
Is that already you have to wait for the EU one?
No, but obviously we don't know necessarily who it will be, but we're
going to be in the tough one because we're the number 5 seed from North America.
I believe we will get EU 2nd seed, Sam 1st seed, and then another NA team. I think it'd be like 2nd or 3rd NA as well. So we're going to have a really tough group.
Oh, no.
So we could get, like, from EU, we could either get...
Stop. Don't even continue whatever you're going to say, Travis.
We talked about this last cast. We talked about it, but...
Every time he says guys, I know it's going to be some sort of, like, some horrible prophecy that he's about to just...
I'm reverse caster cursing us now, okay? I'm just getting it out of the way. We talked about this last cast, but one team, like... There is the likelihood of us or some organization showing up to this major and then not even getting to perform in front of a crowd. And if you don't make it out of group stage,
I'm literally traveling like 5,000 miles not to watch my team play.
That'd suck. I wouldn't recommend it.
No, we'll still have fun. But yeah, no, it would. That's the stakes that are there. You know, that's why it's.
It'll be hype no matter what.
Major.
I think worst case scenario though, we could get like, I don't know who's top in Sam at the moment, but we get whoever's top in Sam, and then FaZe and BDS. That's like worst case scenario for us.
Wait,
so
we don't have to go against Sandrock though, because that's the only one I'm like.
No. Sandrock. I believe it's Sam, OCE, the team that goes through Asia, the Asian qualifier, and Sandrock. I believe they're the lowest seeds of each group. So we'd get. Wait, no. I don't know. I saw that it was maybe it's Sam number 2 that we'd get. Not one, not first seed. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't
know. It's so confusing.
Okay, then we're segueing away.
Just go look online if you want to see for sure. It's all there for you.
Wikipedia has all your information.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, this is available for anybody to look up. It's on the Wikipedia website. I know it seems like common knowledge for everybody, but there are just some people that may have never heard about it. So yeah, Wikipedia has a Rocket League section where you can.
It's the unofficial official Rocket League.
Did they
website.
Wait? I could be completely mistaken, but did I not see that they would do that in some form of official partnership now?
Who?
Last I heard, Psyonix was trying.
Oh, Wikipedia.
Psyonix wanted to make their own thing, right? Like at the start of the season, it was all like.
And then they've done absolutely nothing.
I thought I heard that they were partnering with somebody from Wikipedia. I can't remember. I saw it on Twitter, but I can't remember who.
They should. I just don't understand why they don't embed Wikipedia onto Rocket League's website.
I mean, it updates live every event, no matter what the event is.
And they've already done all the work.
Like an official event.
I don't understand why Rocket League wouldn't use that.
I think Wikipedia
I think they want to do stuff on their own.
Yeah, it does stuff for other esports, and it's just generally like a very good source for everybody, even Psyonix, to go in and gather information. I don't know, maybe they just don't want to. They want to just make it so it's just free source for everybody, but I'm not sure.
It needs to be embedded in game. There needs to be a tab for it in game. So
for real, that would be amazing. Yeah, If you could just like look up everything. If you could watch the esports in game, like if you could go to a tab and then you can click on players and you could go through their perspectives and
player profiles and
and just like
sick.
see
It'd
all
be
the
so good.
stats in real time and be able to browse it while you
Nope.
can hear the game.
It would just black screen. It would just black screen continuously as you're trying to
Not
load in.
not an
That's
Unreal
something
Engine
that
5.
they're waiting for Unreal Engine 5,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Not an Unreal Engine 5. I feel
Those
like it
black
will be
screens in
capable.
me, the other day, I think I sat through 8 of them in a row trying to join a tournament match.
I
It's
don't
just
do
because you're
tourneys
silly and you
anymore.
didn't restart
I
your
can't.
game.
No, it's
And
not,
also-
Veeds. I should
If you
not
get
have
it,
to
no, if
restart.
you get it in tournament, if you get it in tournament and you restart your game, you won't black screen. It'll just put you straight in. You're one of these silly peeps that's just
Why
there
do I have
trying to
to do that? Like,
rejoin.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's not.
I just-
It's not silly for me to want the game to work, Veeds. It's not silly.
It's
Yeah,
not.
but we're clearly working on
Unreal Engine.
just a wrong engine, aren't we? Just
I
obviously an
I think
engine
s-
from the 1950s
I think it
or
was
something.
Chris. He tweeted out like, "Please help us, Psyonix. This like the tournaments are so broken." I'm like, "There's no hope for the tournaments right now because all of their manpower is going towards Unreal Engine 5 Rocket League tournaments."
They're trying to figure out how to use
yeah.
Unreal Engine 5 because these guys like that made this
Probably
game.
still trying to figure out how to
They won't
download
fix
it.
them.
Wow.
They're
That's
working
mean.
hard.
Veeds,
They're working
Veeds
really
just thinks they're all
hard.
monkeys at Psyonix, I guess. How to download Unreal Engine 5.
Oh my gosh.
goodness. More topper. No, it's just man, speaking of the people at Rocket League, what all the hard work that they're doing, there's
We
another
believe in you
Batman.
guys.
There's
No,
another
I do
Batman
appreciate
collab.
it.
Yeah, I
At least
know.
they were like open a few months back and saying like, look, like we know this has been a pretty dire like last year of communication from us since free to play, and then they were like, this is our plan. So at least they have laid it out on the table. We don't know what content we'll get, but at least we know that they are working on Unreal Engine 5. They've hinted at more.
Well, it's not hinted, it's
In-game.
confirmed. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they've confirmed it,
They
but
mentioned
they've
it.
hinted at like other what was it that they said about like creator focused content or something? I can't
oh
remember
yeah,
how they worded it.
they hinted at like creative content from the community being
Yeah, that's
playable
the
in game. So that doesn't necessarily mean workshop maps, but it might mean a better training pack system. One where your car
That'd
could
be nice.
start spawn on the wall maybe, or maybe not just, or you could change the pitch before the start, so you could even like, because even if you could change the pitch of the car for the training pack, you could have it to where it kind of starts on the wall. You know what I mean?
The one thing I would like
Small
from
stuff.
training packs is just to have a moving car at the start.
Yeah.
Have a moving, because it's not natural in training packs. I know we're going off topic here completely, but
Nah, you're good.
it's
you're
just
fine.
not natural for your car unless you're just permanent goalkeeper and you just sit on the goal line. You never have that reactive like response in where you just at a standstill in Rocket League, really.
Yeah, or have zero momentum. It's like, and I think it actually kind of trains bad habits to like, for you to think that you can use all of this boost to get to this ball. It's like when you really don't need that much because in game you would be you would hopefully be moving a little bit. That's why, it's. Or if you could put limits on the amount of boost you have per shot too, you could train people to be a little bit more strict on their accuracy and stuff like that.
Right, like you can do this in like 36 boost, and you can only use that many boosts to do this shot, and it would help people with like boost conservation. There's so many things they could do to make
The
training mode, and I think what they have to do is make that into like the creative mode where we see training packs, but also you can make maps and you can really manipulate everything within the field and make your own field and your own goals and do stuff like that. I do want to move on.
Segue.
To talk about it is an interesting topic, but we can kind of go back to it a little bit later. Rocket League and Batman. So this is a collab that has happened before. They're trying to make it a little bit interesting. You can they tweeted out like a riddle that you had to solve, and it gave you another clue as to what information we're getting. So people are saying it's going to be a new Batman car, which is, I think it's fine. I think the thing about these Batman collabs is like Rocket League is always getting probably a big fat check from these Batman collabs. So it helps the game progress in that sense, where they can, use that money to make the game better, hopefully. But I don't know. I'm always excited when they do this kind of stuff and they get the community involved. And
well, tell them what they did on it.
Yeah,
because
if you
did it.
If you open up the Rocket League website, so they tweeted out. Let me pull out the tweet. Yeah, they tweeted out, "Let's play a game. Just me and you. Go to our site, then search for the cap, a room with no doors in the front or the back." So they were trying to make like a riddle. If you go on the Rocket League website and look up mushroom, because that's the cap you're searching for, people were like saying cap, like no cap. They couldn't understand. And so if you do that, a little note comes up. It's all red. It's really mysterious and cool. And it says, "Batman is coming to Rocket League. The next message will arrive February 25th at 10 a.m. PST." And then it says, "Eat your bacon," in all caps, "before you eat 3 Caesar salads." It makes no sense. And then it gives you a long string of, like, it looks like a code, like you would punch in the game, but it's just R's and L's that you punch in. So yeah, if you go to rocketleague.com, search mushroom, this will come up. And
there's weird spaces in between them too.
Yeah, I tried plugging it in the main menu with my triggers, and nothing happened. And I spent a long time.
But you know what? So there was the initial riddle of going to the website, right? And looking for the cap. Then there was the middle sort of riddle, the Caesar salad one, and then there was the code. Apparently, shout out to Skittles. He found out that there's a code called Caesar coding.
Oh.
And you have I don't know what happened after this because I had to dip. I was in a call with him. And there's a coding called Caesar coding. And you have to use, like, in the alphabet, you have to use 3 letters prior to match with that letter. So for R, you would use O. And for L, you would use I. So I don't know if there's something that people want to go and try with that somewhere. Where it's actually I's and O's. But then
Nito's like booting up Rocket League right now. Like, wait a minute.
Well, I'm like, well, maybe the I's and O's stand for 1s and 0s, and maybe it's
and then it's like binary.
Yeah, like then you can solve it that way.
I don't know. There's something there. It means something, but I think they said on the 25th we're getting another message. So maybe it links up with the next one.
Right.
And we actually can't do any more now, but it's pretty cool. I like seeing that they're actually doing something more thought out, especially with the community, because on Twitter, like, we don't see that much. We don't see Rocket League tweeting that many things that
are creative,
are a little bit out there, or creative, or like a bit of fun. It's usually Titanium White Dominus is in the item shop.
Which it is, by the way. Use one of our support creator codes.
True. I mean, it's an exciting collaboration. I hope to see them branch out a little bit more in the future. I like some people are saying in chat, like, I don't really care for another Batmobile. It's great, but
have you seen the Batmobile from the new movie?
You think they're gonna like replicate
There's a new movie?
Batmobile.
Yeah, there's a new.
There's always a new Batman movie.
It's what's he called? Him out of Twilight? Somewhat Patterson.
I have no idea.
Robert Pattinson?
The guy Edward he was called in thing.
Beans is on Team Edward.
You're cute,
I was gonna
Beans.
call him Edward Pattinson, whatever his name is.
It's Robert Pattinson. It's got to be.
Robert, yeah. So he's playing Batman. But it looks really cool. But the actual Batmobile is like some American muscle car. Like
I'm
school,
about
like
this then. All right, hold on.
70s, like some Dodge Charger type stuff, awesome. But I'm wondering, because the season ends in a couple of weeks, do you think they could maybe dedicate like a full season to a theme like this? You know, like they do in Fortnite, where they'll have like, I don't know if anyone's seen the new Fortnite.
Oh, they do this.
The Rock is like the latest like hero in Fortnite, and they've based a whole season around it. So I'm wondering if they're gonna venture down that sort of avenue and do like a full
Batmobile
Batman,
RLCS. You can't join it unless you're using the Batmobile.
I mean, they could.
And if you want to use a different car, you can't. You got to use the Batmobile.
Oh my gosh. Well, that and our next event is already called the 7-Eleven Slurpee Cup or something.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and like talk about that too, because that's another Rocket League.
Should we talk about season rewards? Though, let's transition. Let's transition.
Oh, we could touch. You could touch on season rewards.
We forgot.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about season rewards at nauseum last time they came out, but season rewards.
They're goal explosions this time, right? With the ranks coming out of them. Yeah, they're fine. I think season rewards, like, they're never going to
be good.
Feel like, because it's a cosmetic. I think because they attach the season reward to a cosmetic for your car, you're gonna have a wide range of opinions on that. I would like to see season rewards that kind of like, I don't know, that feel like they have more value. Like when SSL's got that all white decal. A white decal is not something that you can have in the game, so that felt really special to them, and they really liked that decal. If they made it season rewards into titles like they do that's why people grind the extra modes. Like that's the
because they're fun.
Sometimes the only reason why. Sometimes.
True. Sometimes, yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's nice to see Rocket League played in a different perspective. I like the extra modes, no hate. But yeah, I think that they are doing themselves a disservice by making the season rewards a cosmetic item.
I think it should just be banners and avatar borders. I think
that would be sick too. I would love to see, like, because I feel like that would
to
have
see
less
them-
of controversy as far as how they look.
exactly.
They don't
I'd like
affect
to
the
see
car.
them do like a whole, just like a preset. So like literally one of everything. Like it can't be hard for them over a span of 3 or 4 months to come up with a decal, a banner, an avatar, and you just get this whole bundle for like, or even something.
It might
cool
get
like,
kind of cluttered then, though, as my devil's advocate viewpoint on that, though.
But then
There's
you
already
also
a crazy amount of items.
like for the people that don't really care about goal explosions, they would have had something else that they might care about that they grinded for. You've probably got somebody that's like, man, I just want them to bring out an antenna. There'll be somebody out there that
No,
that
there is
rocks an
not.
antenna.
If you're
Musty would
listening
rock it.
right now,
You're telling me Musty would not rock an antenna?
no,
Hmm.
no.
Not
It-
maybe
it
for
may be,
video
though.
sometimes.
If you
it'd be for
are
the
listening
memes.
and you use an antenna, you need to comment on one of our posts on Twitter that you use an antenna, because nobody is going to, because
So
I
Tryhouse can
don't
shun you.
believe you. I don't believe it. You're like, oh my god, I need my freaking silver antenna, man. Like, and it's, you
sounds
know
a
what
bit
they would do?
personal.
It would just
Is
be
that-
the rank emblem on the freaking the little antenna. That's all it would be.
On a stick.
I can't do antennas; they're a little bit too distracting. Just like flapping around. I used to use like
Alright,
the
let's
bunny
just say,
ears, but I
Try.
can't do it anymore.
If you got your own antenna in game, your own flag, would you use it?
V's, that's not fair. Of course I would use it.
No. You can't backtrack now.
Of course I would use it.
Okay, so
but I
you'd
wouldn't
use
want a
an antenna?
flag. I'd want my logo and like 3D
But
extruded.
your logo would be on a. I mean, they're not going to venture away from a flag, are they?
Yeah, because
could
the
just do,
flags
like,
are easy.
some-
It's just like a JPEG that they throw on or a PNG they throw on a white flag and call it good. Or can we just get my forehead as an antenna? I think
As a topper? No, just a topper. It's just coming out the top of the car. Just your forehead and your hair.
and it's huge.
That
and it's
would
like
be
it's so tall. Oh my gosh. All right, that's a clip. It's Psionics, let's make that happen.
Somebody
Oh
could
my
make
God.
that. Cause you
Forehead
can,
topper. I
like-
don't even know how that would look. I feel like it would look weird.
Oh, it would look hideous. It would be. It
But
couldn't
they'd have to,
possibly be
like-
worse than their watermelon toppers, or their fruit
Do
toppers.
it
That they
like,
put.
do you remember the not Valentine's, April Fool's, the first April Fool where they made the giant toppers? They could just dedicate one to try.
Oh my god, that was the best April Fools that Rocket League ever had. Giant toppers, man, bring them back. Bring back
miss
the giant
them.
toppers. Toggle them.
Very memorable, honestly.
The giant halo. It was just good. I actually liked the size. I was like,
I
this is
don't
perfect.
remember this. When was this? Was this?
The giant top for April
was-
Fools.
it was
if you
April
weren't using toppers,
Fools,
you weren't going to
man.
see it. Because I think
You
it was
don't remember
client
the giant
side.
foam hat?
Was it
Remember the
just
giant-
this last one?
No,
No,
this is a
it
while
was
ago.
like years
20
ago.
2016, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing. I've only been a content creator for 3 years, so I wouldn't have
You know
known.
what? You might have missed it. I
You're
have
a
a, I have
fraud.
a I have a picture or video somewhere, and if I don't, then we'll be able to find one for you. You can see it. It's really cool.
Disappointed.
Yeah. But they stopped doing April Fool stuff eventually, and we were really confused by it.
They stopped doing the April Fool stuff because it was a very high tension year, and people like just didn't want to see April Fool's jokes. Like,
was that because of
it was because of
COVID?
a lot of stuff happening politically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and then COVID happened, so they were just like, nah, we're just gonna not, because
They're like, we can do less work. Guess I can figure out how to download Unreal Engine 5.
I can imagine that doing April Fool stuff was fun for them. Like that one year they outsourced Shitty Watercolor to do all of the rank banners, and then they did the vegetable ranks. Like I bet you it's fun to kind of think of stuff like that.
They should bring back the vegetable ranks. That's funny. Like that is funny, and the fact that we're still talking about it is
Yeah. Why haven't they brought that back yet?
that's good content because it's only for a day. So it's like it's not like
Maybe this year. You never know. It's not April yet.
you bring it back.
I believe you can get it in backers mod actually. The vegetable ranks.
I need to bring that. I need to bring that out because I've been de-ranking so much. It just make me a little happier to see meme ranks instead of my actual rank.
I guess some people use it that way.
Which is also a meme.
Which is
also a meme. Thank you.
Oh my god! I don't even want to talk about my rank. I
Okay.
actually haven't been playing a ton of ranked. But
Really?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm never due. I need to though. Never gonna get to GC at this rate. Anyway, 7-Eleven, Rocket
Boom.
League. That's another collaboration that's happening, and it's cool because they're coming out with physical, real Rocket League items that you can buy at 7-Eleven. It's a little cup that has Rocket League stuff on it, and then the lid is a little Rocket League ball, which I think is super cute. And then obviously you get a Slurpee, or I don't know what they are at 7-Eleven. I think that's what it is. So,
There's a bunch of items you can buy that'll give you a code for.
Yeah.
So basically, if you go to 7-Eleven, you don't even have to buy like the Rocket League exclusive branded merch at 7-Eleven. There's just a couple items you can buy, and with those items, you can get codes to get items in game. So like, you know, a Slurpee boost, a Slurpee decal, and a Big Bite antenna, which just further extends Psyonix's pull on adding food into this stupid game. I don't understand.
I like it. I like
Let
food.
me see if they have like exact dates for it, so you guys aren't like running to 7-Eleven right now, because I'm sure
Yeah, I think they're running a little late.
Actually.
There's a launch.
There is exact dates. Apparently, the Slurpee boost you can get today if you get an item in store, but I've already heard that people said that it's not in store yet, and also, yeah, wait a couple days. We will let you know somehow, and on the Twitterverse. One of us will be tweeting about it surely at some point.
I also think it'll be happening for a while, because Devin tweeted out like, don't worry if you guys have no 7-Eleven around you, there's tons near LAN, where LAN is happening. So, and LAN doesn't happen for another several weeks. So I think it's going to be something that they have ongoing for a little while. So that will be cool. So don't feel like
they're
you
gonna
have
set
to
up a
rush.
shop at the venue.
A little 7-Eleven where all the stuff is priced $70,000 more than.
Well, it's going to be sponsored, right? So they could. Like,
I
it's
think they
sponsoring the major, right? Like, it's the official sponsor, so...
The Slurpee cup.
They probably will have them. I'd be surprised if they don't. Like, it seems like a silly thing not to try and incorporate somewhere.
No.
And at least, like... Or direct people to a 7-Eleven that's, like, really close to the venue or something. But, I don't know. It makes sense to have them set up there.
Right?
Cool.
I'm gonna make a whole, like, if they have Rocket League stuff at the 7-Eleven, I'm making a whole, like, 7-Eleven vlog. I'm making a whole day of it. We're going to 7-Eleven. I'm buying one of everything.
I'm just gonna go and buy the cups. I'm just gonna say, can I pay for Slurpee prices, but just get like 20 cups, please?
Can I get 20 cups? Bro, you're gonna be like, you're gonna open your cabinets and all of your cups
I'm getting like
Rocket League cups.
Hit me up for
What's
some
up,
black
babe?
market.
I got some cups for our kitchen.
I'm not reselling them.
Wait a minute. We're on to something here, guys. Listen, that might be nice.
We are not scalping 7-Eleven cups from LAN.
Nito, you speak for
listeners.
yourself.
I mean,
if
Stop
you
it.
pledge
I'm bringing
one,
them back for all my UK homies.
Stop it.
so
if
the
you
funny thing
tier
about
3
that-
sub to us, we will send you a cup.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying that you guys should be scalping anything, but one of the first RLCSs I went to, I've wanted, like, they sold a mouse pad, a really nice Rocket League mouse pad, and they haven't brought it back since. I'm like, some of the stuff you can get at these lands, you should like consider getting,
that's
because
what
a
I
lot of it's
wanted-
really exclusive.
Yeah, that's what
I was
Nito's.
gonna
And
segue
Madrid was
into
a
that.
disappointment then.
because Rocket League, for whatever reason, like people complain about them being money hungry, always like doing item shops up. No, they don't have merch that you can buy that's like Rocket League official merch, and they don't come out with it. It was a thing before, but they haven't put anything out yet. Like since the only time you can get Rocket League stuff is if you go to LAN, and I feel like that's unfair because there's so many people that play Rocket League casually that just they're not gonna go to LANs and stuff like that, and they still love the game just as much. And they have no access to that kind of stuff. They have to buy like bootleg stuff from like, I don't know, Redbubble, and it's just, and then.
But do you think
Rocket
maybe
League
they
takes
just
that
make
stuff
so
down.
much money at LAN environments selling merch that it doesn't, because it's easy for them to get a bunch of high quality merch for one event.
They could still
but
sell
they
like
could still
LAN
have-
exclusive merch.
Yeah, that's what I was
and-
gonna say.
Yeah, and then like have a regular standard line of merch that's just regular. Just slap the logo on a T-shirt and sell it to me. I will buy it. I will literally
Nito,
buy
you're
it.
getting
Have some, like,
really
artistic-
passionate right now.
It's
Nah,
because it's
I've
easy
I've
money for
recently
them.
been thinking about it quite a lot myself actually, and they could have like, why not just have like really artsy T-shirts of like certain maps and stuff as well, like prints of like just cool merch. Like it definitely would be worth it for them. People would buy them.
Imagine buying like a big pillow that's a Rocket League ball. Boom, $100. I'll buy it. I don't care if it's giant. Yes, like
Nito, your
Shape of
face
a-
is
yeah.
so
You could-
excited talking about this.
or maybe like one
Or you
that's
get,
like,
like,
because they have the stress ball ones, right? Just like make it even bigger. Like I'm trying to have like
Sell like love sacks, like Rocket League ball, like love sacks and stuff.
What are
Is that
love
what you call them? I
sacks?
don't know if you call them that.
they're giant.
You know what
love
love
sack
sack
beanbags.
Them like massive, huge
Love
beanbags.
sack. What the
Yeah,
hell?
they're like
That's what-
500
is that
Love
what
Sacks are
they're
great.
called?
No, yeah,
I'll
that's named.
buy
That's
it.
like the biggest one is Love Sack. That's the biggest company that makes
I
them.
have
And
never
they're most
heard that
expensive too.
called a love sack. Love sack
They
sounds
are?
sus. It sounds
It is
like
sus.
we shouldn't be talking
Tryhouse,
about it
that's
on
just
Twitch.
you. That's just
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's
You
we
want
need
to come
a we need a
cuddle
Rocket
on my
League
love sack?
Yeah,
I'll
I'll throw down. I'll throw down on the love sack. And it's just like I don't know. It feels like one of those things where it like take my ideas. I don't care. I'm not gonna come at you with a lawsuit. Make these items. I will buy them. I will give you money to make these items a real.
Give me money,
reality.
I will buy them. Beyond that,
Well,
yeah,
there's
if you
so
make them
many
all,
things
I
they
need money
could do.
first. Let me. Yeah.
I
Like
just
imagine Rocket League remote control like RC cars. Because that's what the Octane is. Octane is literally just like
easy money. They
like,
used to have like little
RC
pullback. They
design,
have pullback
RC
racers.
cars.
Like I have one on my microphone right now. Like they used to sell little packs of that. Like
Wait, that's
it's
a
just very
pullback?
few- Yeah. This is my
I
little-
just
this is my
have the
hot
little octanes.
Yeah,
And that's
I have,
it. All they have is
I
the
have a
octane.
bunch.
This is the only merch that they still have is these little guys. Like they don't even have a Dominus or a Finnick or anything. It's like
really
this
cute.
is the one piece of merch you can get, and it's like the longest standing like sponsorship they've had. I think is with Hot Wheels, right?
Yeah. These I got from as a gift before I even was a creator from my friend that introduced me to Rocket League.
Cool.
And I got them in a pack, and it comes with a little Merc and a Masmune, and
You
yeah, I
can
have,
get
like,
a
bunch of-
Merc.
Yeah, I have a little Merc.
that
in the,
one that you've got, Nito, that needs to double up as a bottle opener. I'm telling you, they'd be onto
bottle
something.
opener?
Bring out what's it called? Hot Shot.
Yeah, that's Hot
That's
Shot.
what I'm saying.
No.
Yeah, like,
bring
they
out
could-
a Hot Shot bottle opener that you can buy on the
That'd be
shop.
so cute. Yeah, just like literally.
There's so many ideas.
There's so
like, we
many.
need to
So
actually
many
get paid for this.
We need
Write
to
stuff
get
down,
paid.
guys.
Guys,
Somebody give us-
Psionics, give us money and we will make you merch ideas, okay? You've got the artists and the people that are... We'll be the idea men, all right?
Yeah.
The idea, man.
The idea men.
Hire the Scuff cast to come and work for you, and we'll take you to new heights.
You know
make
what? Our
merch.
people will reach out to
Good
your
deal.
people. We'll talk at LAN in
Yeah.
person. It'll be great.
We have so many people.
And then they'll just be like, "Nah, we've got first touch."
We gotta
See
make
you
this
later.
love sack a reality.
I'm telling you, man, that they could price that at like $200.
But
and people would buy it.
FaZe
It'll
partnered
be
with
like
Love Sack, right?
$800.
FaZe Love Sack is one of FaZe's sponsors.
Love Sack is a name brand.
Yep.
Are you
Yes, sir.
telling me if I Google Love Sack right now, not in an
LOVESAC.
incognito tab?
Yeah. You're good.
One word,
You're safe.
Try House, and no K.
Don't scroll down too far.
Love Sack. Oh my God. I see no pictures of testicles. This is. I am flummoxed.
Good for you.
That there is no testicles right now.
Oh my goodness.
I just can't believe that.
What?
That is.
Of all the words I thought I was going to hear on the podcast today, you know, I did not think it would be that one.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. That's that
family
one's
friendly.
That yeah,
Oh,
my
goodness.
bad. I thought you guys were pulling a joke on me.
No, like I'm not just randomly saying love sack.
I just
Bruh, why would we like? We do troll you a lot. We do. Troll
yeah,
you a
come
lot.
on.
Yeah.
This is one long meme, one long joke.
One
so that
long,
we get Tryhouse.
one long meme. Okay.
The thing
we
is, he's
gotta
easy
stop.
enough to fool in
Nito,
the first place.
Nito,
We
that
don't
was
have
on
to go
you.
on this far. If that was the case,
Oh my gosh, I don't. Rainey, aren't you? You're in charge of this next topic, and it's much more professional. Here, what's this next one? It's the offense versus defense.
offensive versus defense. This is just like a general question for like we talked about Rocket League mechanics time before last, and thought we would kind of bring it back with a question that I don't think I've seen talked about, which is what is better, an offensive playstyle or a defensive playstyle? What preference do you guys have? We'll start with Nito.
I think obviously depends on the situation. 100%. That's how Rocket League is situational. But I feel like overall, if you have a solid defense, and I'm gonna use my boy Turbo as an example. Like if you are just able to hold out and wear out a team for as long as possible, you'll get them to make mistakes, and then you'll be able to capitalize on that. And your offense doesn't actually have to be that good. You just have to have a really, really good,
and patience.
solid defense and able to withstand long periods of gameplay, and then you're good. So I believe if you have a like A+ defense, you'll beat a team that has a solid offense. That's my opinion.
Yeah, realistically, if you can defend well, then you should be able to attack well.
But no, only if you, because my defense is super solid, but and when I'm paired with somebody who is really good on offense, like it's great. It's like, oh, I can just make the saves and then pass you the ball every now and then, and you can hit it in the net. But if I've got somebody with potato thumbs that can't put the ball in the net, we will go the entire match without scoring because I'm just like covering for defensive blunders left and right. And I don't know.
What's the thing?
Yeah, Rainey.
I'm not talking about your level of gameplay.
It's supposed to be a balanced play style. You're not supposed to have one or the other. That way, you do go against one of these teams with really good defense, really good offense. You're covering your bases. You can kind of counterattack on them. So let's say they're very offensive. If they overcommit on offense, you always have someone back that and a decent enough offense to go counterattack on them. But if they're really good on defense, then I mean, you have good enough defense to be able to cover and hopefully be able to score eventually and just hold out. But then it only takes one goal, and if you're really well balanced, you're probably not going to be overcommitting if you have a good coach and good team chemistry.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to rank up, defensive is definitely the safest bet because you can't always judge how good your opponent is going to be. And if you trust them too much on defense, I've always operated under the belief that you have to assume your teammate is worse than your opponent. And so like you have to cover for them on defense a little bit. And if you don't do that, you're going to get scored on because you were being too aggressive. I think it's the safest bet. Veeds, what were you saying?
The way that I look at it is if you've got a good defense, then when you're on defense, when you've got the opportunity, you're looking for that outplay. But when you're on offense, you've still got defense on your mind. You're still having to rotate in and out, like thinking of the right play to make. So given the fact that I think more defense comes into play on offense than than offense comes into play on defense, then I think if you can master all like the fundamentals of having a good defense, knowing where to position yourself, knowing to go backboard when you need to, whatnot, looking for the sidewall passes out and stuff, and positioning yourself if you are, or if somebody's looking for you to be that outlet. then you should, in theory, be able to transition onto a good offense. I'm not saying having a good defense will make you score goals, but I think if you can figure out all the fundamentals of knowing what to do on defense, then you should be good.
Because if you the thing is, the best clears out of like from defense transition to offense perfectly is the thing. Yeah. Where it's
Flower in our chat says if you're gonna be bad at one, don't let it be defense, and I agree with that.
That's pretty solid.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's what I was kind of going with. Like, you can, if you have a better defense, like if you're an even team but your defense is a little bit better, you'll win, right? Even if their offense is a little bit better than yours.
Now there is a mistake you can fall into where you're too passive, and you can think you're being defensive because you're hanging back so much, but that's not what defense is, and that was a mistake I made really early on in the game, like because at first that was winning games in gold, being the super passive defensive one, and people were really eager to make mistakes, and you could just capitalize on them. By the time you get to like diamond and champ, hanging back too much can hurt you. So it's like, don't confuse defense or passiveness with defense, and is what I was gonna say.
It does change like playlist by playlist though, because in the threes, it can be super confusing. Say if you're rotating back near post, say behind the player you're rotating near post or something. In threes, that's super confusing. Whereas in twos, you can get a bump on the opponent. Your teammate should be able to see what you're doing and be able to read it off that. So in threes, it's like almost like a no-go to rotate near post. In twos, I don't think it's that big of a deal situationally. And I think like if you look at like the highest level of play, if you look at like FaZe Clan, they've got like an incredible offense, but their defense is like pretty bad. It's probably one of the worst at the top level, but it's because they just rely that much on offense. And if you watch FaZe play, they really don't commit on defense. They literally just sit goal line, sit backboard, and just wait for the ball to get to them, because they know that all three of them are like insanely mechanical players. And if you're a very good mechanical player, you can have that reaction, or you can defend based on reactions. Whereas if you don't have that quick sort of reaction time, then that's where the good players need to come in, but like the fundamentals need to come in. But if you watch FaZe play, if you watch FaZe play and you analyze their defense, like they don't do anything. They literally just wait for the ball to come to them.
Sounds like me.
And then whiff in Game 7 overtime.
Oh yeah, that they were talking about how that was like a ghost hit. Was that them?
It was. Yeah, it was. AJ showed his perspective of it, and it was a ghost hit. And now some people went into the replay and were like, well, in the replay it's fine, and in the replay there's no ghost hit, and then it's like, well,
right,
yeah,
and then they were blaming
that's
the
what
other
server desync
person
is
for flipping the wrong way. They were like, well, if you would have flipped the right way, then you would have gotten the save regardless of the ghost hit or not. It's like, yeah, but the ghost hit happened, and that ghost hit may have resulted in that not going in. Like, it's just like so many things.
And what's crazy is because I checked, because AJ showed us his perspective where there was a ghost hit, which obviously influenced his decision on where he was going, and but I watched the back on the official broadcast, and there wasn't a ghost hit from that perspective, which is weird, because normally when I play in game,
they doctored it.
If I notice a ghost hit and I say something on it on stream, the person I'm playing with, they're like, yeah, I saw it on my screen too. So I'm wondering if Sipical hit that on his screen and then the server desync caused him to miss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if Sipical, AJ, and First Killer all saw it as a ghost hit.
Probably.
But for some reason,
you can see in like
Director Cam
replays. Whenever you watch a replay, sometimes the server will show that ghost hit too.
Oh, so the
replays
server
if it's close
chooses
enough.
between one. Yeah, because that's what happens with server desync. That's why a ghost hit occurs, is because your game shows the hit, but by the time it communicates to the server has to correct that physics on its side for everybody. So it'll correct it sometimes, a couple pixels different, and sometimes that's why those ghost hits happen. And
I will say though, like it did look like a slight double commit regardless.
Yeah.
Like AJ was already like pushing out when Sip was going for the ball, and from Sip, I think it was Sip that on the backboard. I don't know if you guys have ever had this where if you're the one to make the ghost hit, it just feels like you go through the ball and you're like, how have I not hit that? So obviously from your POV, because it's like just like a split second scene, you don't really necessarily see it too much, but from other people's POVs, like the ball literally moves.
Rubber bands right around them.
I think it's kind of crazy to think about how far games have come and esports have come, where a physics-based game can get to the level of being played competitively, like online. Obviously not overseas at any great rate yet, but just online in general. And then obviously those hiccups happen, but it's like so few and far between. Like if you really think about it, in a game like that, you feel like it would potentially just be all over the place all the time. But no, Psyonix has done a really good job of. People give them a lot of crap, but to think about like the power it takes for two computers to sync this physics-based game completely perfectly all the time, every single second, and with everybody else's internets and stuff going differently. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool to think about it in that perspective, because we always think about those tiny moments where it really affects like a huge a game with huge stakes and stuff like that. It's really unfortunate, but at the end of the day, like it's pretty crazy. Games
and there's not really any way to in a game like Rocket League, like you say, it's physics based. The game is constantly, the servers are constantly having to calculate what's actually happening. There isn't really any way to fully eradicate issues like that. Yeah. And it is unfortunately just something we have to deal with.
Except you're on LAN, I guess.
Yeah, that's
which is where, I mean, a lot of the highest level competition is online, unfortunately, but at least there are major LAN events that offer is for big amounts of money, a lot of points and whatnot. So
yeah, I'm excited for like hopefully the future of Rocket League and LANs and this tournament kind of format. Also, like them like halting the restrictions on the prize pool and stuff like that, because I brought this up, I think I brought this up before, but like the Super Smash Bros. Scene got really, really popular because of the local Super Smash Bros. Scene and being able to go to like arcades and stuff and play in local tournaments and like win a couple $100 just by playing. Because the Nintendo Online is really, really bad. So that's the only place people would be able to play at any sort of like competitive level. I would love to see that for Rocket League. I would love to see, because there's a lot of like esports cafes popping up here and there and stuff like that. But even in places where people play video games like Smash, like I would love to see them be able to host Rocket League tournaments. I remember hearing about a couple esports cafes wanting to do tournaments like that, but then not being able to because they want to have more of a prize pool and they weren't able to and stuff like that. So I would love to see the local Rocket League scene kind of blow up now, hopefully in the next couple of years, like when the pandemic is a lot more under control, obviously, because that's the reason why it hasn't been able to flourish, I feel like.
Yeah. I think that was the main reason why they mentioned it, right? Like in the post that went in the announcement for the updated guidelines, tournament guidelines. I think that was literally the sole reason why they were saying like no other in-person tournaments are allowed, and I think it's just for the safety of the fan base. Really. Yeah. I think we are at a place though now where we will, I think over the next 12 months, everything COVID related will start to filter down a bit, and we'll be good. Sometime next, I believe, maybe like 2023, we should be back to normality. Hopefully, with the majority.
I'd hope it'd be freaking 3 or 4 years by that point. I don't even talk about it. I don't even talk about it.
It is just tough because it's you can't really predict anything, and it's one of those things where I think we all kind of realize we'll have to learn how to manage and live with it from now on. But I don't want to get too off track. I know we've been at it for an hour, and that's as long as our podcasts tend to go. So do you guys want to touch on anything else before I wrap things up?
I think we're good.
No, I almost just said love sack, but I decided not.
Well, you did.
Because you said you wanted to touch on anything else, and I was going to say love sack, and it was just,
if you are confused, you just joined us. You're going to have to tune in. You're going to have to tune into the podcast on
Talk
Spotify.
all about love sack.
Yeah, you can hear all about our conversation about that if you missed it, because we post this. I'm going to be posting this tomorrow on our YouTube and the Spotify. Don't miss out if you're listening live. Make sure to follow our Twitter at SSG Scuffcast, and we'd love to hear you guys' feedback. I added a question on the Spotify, or a poll on the Spotify, to see what rank our listeners are. So don't be shy. Go on the Spotify and answer that. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did.
Nice.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, nerds.